Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, so a massive shout out in no particular order to Abraham Mohammed, Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvolt, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As The Earth, Chow Yun Cat, Dank, Dave Rakier Gafford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Erwin, Felix Hung, Fireball X, God Rockin, Jeranism, Kirsten Smith, Liam Nedrick, Life Is Short, Matt, Nagara, Naibai, Guitar Craig, Reinhardt, Renee, Sally Ballis, Silver Umbrella, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, the Flat Earth Sun, Moon and Zodiac Clock app, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker and Tom Hawkins. Massive appreciation to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. We are joined by a few people in both Discord server and G Plus Hangouts on air, so I'll raise the mic on them and you can enjoy their dulcet tones. I can actually chat with them. I'm all set up, ready for the next live show, but I want to start a bit early as I've got horrendous computer computer problems, and those computer problems will hopefully get resolved after the second live show gets recorded. So I'm in a slight rush to get these shows out of the way, although that sounds terrible. It just means getting the show on the road a bit earlier. So hello Flatsoid and hello Righteous Force.
Good morning, Nathan. So does that mean you're starting a live show early?
I probably won't. I don't know. I don't think so. I'll probably just start at the live show at the regular time, but it means that there'll be a much shorter after show, and then I can then move on to the second show. So I want to get about. Ideally, I'd like to get an hour and a half if I'm going to do a shorter show. So in other words, you get about half an hour of unique material if you watch the Uncut and After show at minimum. Sort of a third of the show is new. So that by that standard, it means that we'll probably get more than that now because it's only. Maybe I will start the live show early. We'll see. I don't know what I'll do. Less important on the second channel anyway, so people are less fussed. The audience is smaller anyway, so if it doesn't go out exactly on time, it doesn't really matter.
It's better to play it by ear, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if we're chatting away quite happily, the live bit is kind of like a Brucey bonus for those of you who are subscribed to the second channel. So this conversation's obviously going out on Nathan Oakley 1980, my main channel, because it's the weekend. But the people who are subscribed to Nathan Oakley channel did get to see at least some of this show live, because they're subscribed and more keen to tune into all of it, rather than just the more mainstream bit or just the live bit or whatever you want to call it. The main channel, basically. I like the chat in the second channel, so I often watch the Uncut and After show with the audience, if that makes sense. And the chat's nicer. It's far less infested with evil. Yeah, so subscribe today if you're not already. Link is below to the second channel, which is just Nathan Oakley rather than Nathan Oakley 1980. So Mark Knight dropped me a line, thanking me for thanking him for thanking me. As it goes. Wakey Wakey.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it was Mark Knight.
Yeah, Wakey Wakey.
Yeah, I even gave the link to Zanuck, and I don't know how much he watched it, but he said he liked it too. He said it was pretty good.
Interesting. Yeah, we said before the show started. I mean, I could be critical of some aspects of what he said, but there's not a great deal of point. I think it's far more positive than in need of critiquing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The way I look at things now is how, like, let's say like my dad, right? Like my dad is still a ball earther, and I'm thinking now, like, what are some of the things I could like present to him that's like quick to digest and like, how do I say? I guess like more like PG-13 or something like that. Like basically something without like, I don't know how to say it without seeming rude. Like without like making fun or anything like that. Like it seems like the flat Earth videos are just made for like flat earthers now to me. And when I want to present something to a normie, I usually always find something that, oh, I'm not sure if I can present this now, kind of thing. That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to have to be defending some straw man that the flat earthers laid out in their own explanation, for example. Say, like, well, I don't really want to send this because I can see where it could be pulled apart, and I don't want to have to justify it, so you just don't share it.
That's one example, but there are like many examples, and I'm not gonna say anything in particular, but there like are many examples of this, like all across the board.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I'm just trying to look at it from like the perspective of the normies now, right? Because I've been so much, in the mindset of like the flat earther, and I have to like start thinking from like the normie point of view now. I don't know, just being very vague. Sorry,
No, it's
I
okay.
don't want to say certain things.
Suggesting that you need to be apathetic to somebody who probably doesn't care all that much or just disregards the subject out of hand, because it's a done deal to most of the Western world. It's not. That's how good the programming is. The brainwashing is so good that you don't think it even needs consideration. It's already been resolved. It's not worth any of your mental capacity. And then anything that comes up in that regard, you'll just disregard it out of hand. You just say it's not worth my mental capacity to even consider this. We already know it's a sphere. So therefore, you go on
Yeah.
your happy way without considering anything that's put forward to you. On the other hand, if what's put forward to you by way of link that's got a load of straw men in it from our own side, you're like, well, that's just going to make matters worse.
So righteous.
Hey, Red.
Hello, Redman.
How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good.
I just looked at something the other day, righteous, and I thought about it. I'm 41. I wanted to see how many days I've been breathing on this earth. And it's only 14,000 days. That's it. Life is short.
Yeah, it is. Very.
So we have to put the truth out there. Got to get it out.
Yeah, that's kind of being, or showing some sort of empathy for those normies. It's like, you don't know the world you live in. And by the same token, the people who are really fundamentalist about their viewpoint, i.e. their sphere religion, they're kind of twisted up mentally. Especially the ones that come here. Not a pleasant experience for the people who are on the globe side of this argument.
True.
But for the majority
Yeah,
of
there's
them...
like
Go on, sorry.
there's like the ballers over here we deal with, and then there's like the regular normies who are just so like indoctrinated into this belief that they outright dismiss it, like you said. But it's weird with the ballers over here. Like I still don't quite get why I guess why they're fighting it so much.
I have my own theory in that regard. I mean, I think one of the things that you'll come to the conclusion of when going down this path is that we live in a created world, ergo there's a creator, and that contemplation might get instantaneously rejected by somebody who has a lot of skeletons in their closet. The nihilism is appealing, in other words, the nihilistic globe model, that religion has its appeal to somebody who doesn't want to care about things they've done. Just my
So
opinion.
then how How do you explain then the Christians that are ballers? Are they not Christians then?
The people who cling to being a Christian as some sort of how can I say this without offending a whole load of Christians? You know,
Well, then don't say it.
well, I was just going to say, being a Christian doesn't absolve yourself of the guilt that you may have for the horrendous things you might have done. You know, you can say you're a Christian. There's plenty of bad Christians out there. So I don't know. It's having that, being in that group doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to be guilt ridden. Does that make sense? Or more likely, wanting to ignore your own guilt and the nihilism that's offered by atheism and heliocentrism is very appealing. And you're going to defend it. That's my point.
All right.
I think with the Christians, it's they're split into two groups. The ones that take the Bible literally, which then they become people that believe in the flat earth, and then the ones that don't take it literally, and they're the ones that, you know, believe in what mainstream science tells us.
The broad, all-encompassing generalisation, I can kind of agree with you, other than to say that you take the literal parts literally and the allegorical parts allegorically. Not all of it is to be taken literally, and it specifies those parts in the Bible. Not that I'm a Bible basher or a Christian even, but that's just a fact. There are metaphors and allegory and text to be taken literally. It's quite explicit about what to do with what.
That's how Paula puts it too, and I agree with it. At least so far, that it seems to me so. But when, yeah, like if you don't take the literal parts literal, that means you're just basically quote mining and putting your own beliefs on what you read, like putting your own spin, just to like fit your worldview or how you want the worldview to be.
Well, I was told by a priest that the Bible, when you read the passages that you read, it's meant as a like a book of guidance to help you with whatever you need help with in that part of your life, and that
Why
kind
do
of made sense to me. You know, that's why you don't read it from start to finish.
he actually said that? Not to read it from start to finish. That's pretty bizarre. I say instead of appealing to this man, I think you should just take it into your own hands and read it for yourself and come to your own conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, at
It's
the end
just,
of the day, it's all man-made, isn't it? You know, the
well,
Bible,
it's just like the shape of the
all
earth. You
religions,
guys all
Hold on.
appeal
not
to.
just the Bible.
Sorry, go on, Highlander.
I was just saying, you know, it doesn't matter, not just the Bible, but all religions, it's all man-made, isn't it?
Yeah, the heliocentric one too. But I don't think so with the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, sorry, on you go.
Well, with the Christian one, like when you read it, like I don't know how to explain it. Like to me, it makes sense. Like to me, you can't. There is no better definition of love than like the Christian. I guess than like what the Bible teaches. So there's like a lot of things in there that nobody else. How do I say? I guess I don't have my thoughts organized on this, so I'll just go by it. But if you're going to label that against us, then what about you, your side? Like, you guys appeal to priests yourselves, no? But you seem to be fine with that. Like, even for...
I don't know what's going on with your audio, Flatzoid. Are you trying to say something? Hey, 10th
Oh,
man.
sorry. My phone is in my pocket.
Oh, right. You,
But I am
it's,
listening.
pocket unmuted. Hey, 10th man.
Good morning. Good morning.
We
But
may
yeah,
go live a bit early, just so you know.
my take on the whole situation, like my wife, I mean, we've been a Christian for a long time. But yeah, obviously we weren't flat earthers before we were Christians. She just doesn't care if it's a globe or not. To her, it just doesn't matter. So I think it just differs from person to person's personality.
So, Highlander, why do you appeal to priests? Like, I know somebody else like that. Like, my mom knows somebody who apparently never read the Bible, says the Bible was written by men, but then goes to church and listens to priests. And it's like, well, don't you know that the priests supposedly take their information from the Bible? Like, I don't get some people's thoughts, how they think.
There's a way to test that.
Test what?
If the priest is actually reading the Bible.
I agree.
Go on. And then I'll start the live show.
Well, for years, being raised as a Catholic, I got Catholicism. I was young. I mean, you got to give that. I didn't care too much in one hand, but on the other hand, I was forced to go. So when I was there, not really wanting to be there, I heard Catholicism, which is fine if that's what you want to teach, is Catholicism. Later, when I became a Christian, I found out that Catholicism is not the same as what the Bible teaches in the context of the things they were talking about. Like, if you want to study what does the Bible say about praying, well, this is very simple. You pray to God only, no one else. There's no other God. There's only one God. He knows not of any, he says. And idol worship is forbidden. Well, if you could look at what Catholics do, they have idols, and they routinely pray to saints to mediate on behalf of a request. Well, this is all forbidden. I mean, to the point that it's so silly, I could probably list 20 verses if you gave me a few minutes to look up. So when I go to Catholics today and tell them that, hey, I was once a Catholic and here's my question, they would say, well, we're not really praying to the saints. We're kind of asking them to pray on our behalf. No, I say, you're praying to the saints to pray on your behalf. But God says you only pray to him, you only bend your knee to him, you only talk to him. That God only ever once had a middleman, and it was himself, the Son, Jesus. He became the mediator between God and man. But God had to take a body of a man in order to represent man and to fully forgive man's sin. So even God then is the mediator for himself, but only God. And it's, we have one mediator between God and man. That's Christ. So I told the priest, you have no power here. You just have the power of your own little game, your own little religion, and the rules within Catholicism. And that's just one topic.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now, we are joined by Flatzoid, 10th Man, Righteous Force, and I think that's it in G+. Very good to have you all.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Also got a whole bunch of people in Discord as well, so welcome one and all in the Discord server. Hello, Nathan. Hello. Good to have you. Yeah, good to be here. Thanks. Yeah. Nice to have you all.
Hello.
Hello. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Israel.
Not from the crew.
Any
No,
evidence?
only baseless claims.
Any evidence of axial rotation?
Only on my bicycle tire.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
It was only like 7 miles. So no.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container?
Absolutely not.
That would be a definite no.
Just gotta believe.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No scientific evidence of it.
No, we can't have scientific evidence of a concept.
Any evidence of a viable hypothesis in the entire history of the fields of cosmology, astrophysics and astronomy?
No, I think someone would have given first by now if there was.
All they have are cryhypotheses.
Cryhypothesis.
They can't do real science.
I love it. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Only apparent.
What about the presupposition itself, the basis of all globe arguments? Any evidence of the R value? Earth radius, the presupposition thereof?
They are been here.
Do you have
Any
something?
ballers?
Rogue, did you have something for that? Clearly not. Now that concludes the housekeeping. Thank you very much.
That was the easiest housekeeping questions ever.
Started early.
Alberuni directly measure the radius of the Earth.
It's that guy again.
Didn't hear what he said. He said it a bit too quickly.
Oh, he'll just say it like a soundbite and then go to the next soundbite. He's been here before.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
a
the
robot.
pre-recorded guy.
He's a robot, previously human. Globetard gone wild.
Hey, Paul. I vaguely
Hello,
remember.
Paul.
He just spews and then ignores all address to any claim he makes.
Yeah.
Moves on to the next, like a little machine.
You guys should never address this claim.
What claim would that be?
Flat Earthers are stumped by this.
Stumped by what?
Hang on, he's got to rewind the tape.
Okay. Anyway, Paul, did Did you get that video of the gas?
Yeah, I saw it. You said it through Skype. Yeah, I saw it. Haven't had a chance to really look at it in length, but
I tried to make it smaller. It only came up to like 30 megabytes for like 1 minute.
Now, see there, Paul? This is like words mean things. Flatzoid, are you listening?
Huh?
Satellite
Flatzoid
proof
said,
gravity.
hang on, computer man. The Flatzoid said, did you get the video I sent you? And this is why words mean things. Paul said, I saw it. But and I'm saying, well, he sounds, a little bit groggy in his voice. Like, what do you mean you saw it? Like, you should be a little happier because he did something for you. And then Paul says, yeah, but I haven't looked at it yet.
well, I'm happy he did it. I'm happy.
No, that's not the case. The case was I saw it, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. Well, saw it and look at it. Words mean things, right?
I saw it come through under Skype, but haven't stopped to watch it.
Yeah,
exactly.
we could
That's
definitely
why
all
we
translate
define
that.
words.
We could all translate that. I've seen that you've sent it me. I haven't watched it yet. That's what that translates to.
Yes, and not making fun of anyone, just saying words mean things. So
Yeah.
it is important to define words.
Yeah.
Yes, how you phrase it.
Go on, Flatzoid.
I said it's all got to do with the phrasing, how you phrase something.
And I guess I did see was on the video though. I did see how Puppy was on Discord. He changed the settings to try to make it work. No heat, massive amounts of gravity. That was kind of funny, on the Discord server yesterday.
Yeah, and I called him out and
I
then
won't
he says
even
no, we
engage
don't.
that anymore.
Say again, Travis.
Oh, I just said I won't even engage him anymore. He's turns his thing to Satan's lover or something like that. So my new nickname for him is Saddam Hussein. Just like South Park. He was Satan's lover.
I see.
Yeah, well, I keep changing his nickname to Satan is a liar.
So Paul, did it work with the Puppy Lover settings? Yeah, but you had to remove all the heat from the planet, and you had to crank the gravity all the way up, and you basically had to remove all particles from any motion. That's the only way you could get it to work. So.
And that's not reality.
It's not reality anyway. Neither is the gravity. It's pseudo Mickwestian 2 space. The model. It's pseudo Mickwestian 2 space. There is no fourth dimensional space time that he's bending. It's just bullshit. It's total nonsense. 2-dimensional nonsense. The fact that it doesn't work even in 2 dimensions, where you're giving every particle the best possible chance of colliding with the one next to it because it's only in one plane, it still doesn't work. It's absolutely pathetic.
You gotta try.
Well, even in that simulator, entropy, the time is not the cause, but time is necessary in the process of entropy occurring, or the increase of entropy occurring, and that's the thing that I was saying that when I showed that video, I recorded it. Over time, it eventually showed the particles dissipating, but when you first see it, it's that deceptive first look. You're going like, oh, yeah, that looks right. But then over time, it all dissipates. But that's the thing they don't want to talk about, the time issue. And one of the guys on Discord also said, oh, we're losing 80 tons of gas a year. I'm going like, really? How's that being replaced? And he says, well, everything's produced at ground level. I think, well, actually, plants and animals exchange gases. It may be a process occurring at ground level, but all you're doing is exchanging gases. If you're losing gases, how's it getting replaced? No, it was silence from that point on.
Just to summarise, if the sky was a vacuum,
believe in global warming.
Sorry, if the sky was a vacuum, known as outer space, as claimed in the heliocentric religion, with the sphere Earth at the centre, no, not the centre, the sun at the centre, with the sphere Earth traversing it, you have a place called outer space that's a vacuum. And the gas we breathe would fill that space. That's the bottom line.
And even on the globe model, they admit
Yeah, but-
that we're losing gas to outer space. They admit that.
Admit it. We'd lose all of it.
I agree. We'll lose
To
all
admit
of it.
that seems like a mistake, because that just makes it more obvious.
Oh, you guys don't know that there's a 40-foot pipe around the Earth and a small opening on top?
No, there isn't. It's just an
Oh.
open system akin to a marble in a vacuum chamber with gas magically stuck to the outside of it, not dissipating into the rest of the vacuum. It's
Well,
nonsense.
it's funny how they have to fight for a container on all sides, but on top, at the same time, say there is no containment.
Yeah, you need a
If they're
container.
going to, yeah, exactly. But if they're going to suggest that you're losing gas, any amount, then you have a little hole in your container. And Hillbilly Blue Balls is showing that they can double speak and have two positions at one time.
Oh, you've triggered somebody in Discord.
Oh, good.
I got a question for a 10th man.
Who's this?
Before you do, Verum1 says,
Oh.
Random Atheist and DJ would like to join the show. There's a link below to get in the Discord server. There's plenty of space on the panel.
I like the name.
Hello.
Hello. Is that you?
Can I just ask, what happened to Sleeping Warrior? He seems to have dropped off the radar.
Did a live stream only about 3 hours ago. Sorry, hello. I didn't see your name, my friend. Said something.
It's said and done.
Very good to have you, said and done. How can we help?
Just tuning in. Observing.
Saying hello. No worries. Hello.
He said and he's done.
Yeah, I'm new to Discord, but I've been following you for maybe a year and a half.
Oh, thanks for the
Discovered you
support.
through Ranty.
Ranty? Say again, sorry.
Yeah, just saying I discovered you through Ranty, Flat Earth.
Cool. Very cool. Subscribe today, Ranty Flat Earth channel. Be here or be sphere.
Speaking of Ranty, did he
Subscribe today.
retire or something?
Nah, it's just poor. So he needs to do proper work, and every time he gets heavily involved in doing Flat Earth streams, he lets his actual job fall by the wayside, and he's self-employed, so it's really easy to do. So this has happened a couple of times. He recognises that if he doesn't actually do his actual job, he'll start to fall into poverty. I mean, I'm on the borderline of it, and I'm a bigger channel than he is, so it's obviously going to be more difficult for him than it is for me. So therefore, he has to do his normal job, as I did a year and a half ago, or whatever it was. So that's just life, right? So he's going to do less streams, that's the net result. But he's still doing streams, he's still producing content. I've still seen him sticking stuff out. And he did a explanation video saying, look, I can't dedicate as much time. There's only so many hours in the day. I'm not disappearing, but just in case anyone's like, why isn't he doing constant live streams? That's why. So he's not going to disappear.
All right.
You must not have children because they do YouTube and run a business and have children. That's just I couldn't run a YouTube channel. I don't have the time. I'm self-employed.
Well, I'm in sales, and I'm watching a little one, and yeah, I barely have time to do anything. So I know what you mean. I'm cooking breakfast as we're sitting here talking.
Well, you guys are piling on the Globetards. Bunch of part-timers taking down the globe. This is embarrassing.
We need to send Paul some magic grits so he can cook them fast.
Yeah, Ranty's all good, as far as I'm aware.
My cousin Vinny.
I tried cooking some magic beans, but they were just a bunch of full of hot air. So.
Did you get through housekeeping?
Yeah, we went through it early. I started the show early because my computer's dying, or the hard drive is. So I need to get it fixed. and that's why I've started the shows early while the computer's still running. If it all dies in the middle of one of these shows, you'll know why.
Oh, bummer, man.
It's just one of those things. You know, I had the hard drive for about 5 years. It came with a 5-year warranty. Shock horror. So, yeah.
Yeah. My wife has a Hyundai car, and way back when she got it, they were doing 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty, right? And as soon as that thing clicked over 100,000 miles, it was like it had 100,100 miles or something. We had some major go and break down on it.
Of course. Hey, Ranty. Speak of the devil.
Howdy. You right?
Very well. Did you hear yourself being spoken about?
No.
Oh, we were literally just talking about you. Literally.
All right. Well, my ears aren't burning. Was it good or bad?
No, it's good. Someone was saying that they came to this channel off the back of some of the work that you'd done, and we were talking about your stepping back slightly, doing more normie. I hate to say it this way, Ranty. I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. Doing a bit more normie work, basically, is what you're doing at the moment, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's nothing too exciting, but people are like, "Oh, I miss Ranty," and I'm like, "Well, he's not disappeared. He's not dead." But I did say that to you when you explained it to me, right? I was like, "Give it 2 weeks, people will think you're dead."
Yeah, that was kind of like a sobering thought, actually. I thought, huh? What? What do you mean you think I'm dead? Why would they do that? Can't somebody just go away for a little while and, just recharge the batteries kind of thing?
Not on YouTube, mate. Basically, you're death if you disappear for 2 weeks.
I mean, you must have some stamina to be doing it for as long as you have.
Yeah. You could say that, I suppose. Yeah. I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah, man. It is tough. It is tough when you got to work as well. So, But I am going to do some shows this month. I've got a few lined up, so it won't be anything like it was, but it'll just be sporadic now and then.
Well, I look forward to him. I'm sure you've got some good guests lined up, good subjects to cover, excellent footage to expose. I'm sure you're still doing bits and bobs, correct?
Oh yeah, still keeping my fingers in. You've seen what Flats has been talking to you about and about Miles Davis and such? He's been repeating his observations, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, I do vaguely know this. Yes.
Yeah, so he's basically been repeating his observations because Miles Davis, quote unquote, challenged people to go and recreate the imagery that he did. Well, what do you know? When you actually go up and you level your tripod and you get things absolutely spot on, it's a world of difference to what Miles Davis has been putting out.
Oh, what? Miles the Liar Davis, that guy? Shocker.
That's the one, yeah. So somebody has been going back and finding all kinds of problems with with Miles Davis's footage. It's amazing what happens when somebody goes and actually takes you up on the challenge. So yeah, anyway, I've been talking to him. So he's doing some good stuff. Everyone go over and subscribe if you haven't already. That's Flat SA, FLATSA, Flatsa.
Cool, very cool. Was his video with him with a P900 putting a little tiny spirit level on the top of the lens at full extension?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that. All I will say is that Miles Davis, the quality of the photography that he took was pretty poor. And the quality that Flats has taken, or Alistair Milne, is much better. And obviously, when you've got better detail, better quality, you can level everything properly. You can get to find out that, there's a few videos that Miles has put out trying to say that a distant mountain in the background is lower than other mountains in the foreground. But that's only because he's lined it up wrong because he has a crappy camera and he has crappy imagery. But when you actually do it properly and you level the camera and you get everything spot on and you've got some detail that you can actually use, you find that isn't the case at all. In fact, it's a perfect flat earth proof actually, rather than a globe earth proof.
Yeah, that sounds about right. They all are.
Indeedy. Right, anyway, so I just thought I'd stop by for 5 minutes and I'm going back to work now.
Hey, real quick, Ranty, before you leave, your P1000, is it the international version or not?
God, I have no idea. Well, how would I know that? How would How would I know?
I don't know.
whether it's
I'm trying to get one here, and from what I'm seeing, if you buy the international version, then the manufacturer will not refurbish it. So,
Oh, I don't.
you
I honestly don't know. It's been a long time since I bought it. What was it? Over a year ago? I haven't a clue.
okay? I just figured I'd ask because I'm about to go into debt just to buy one because I keep trying to save the money. I just can't do it.
The P900 is a good camera, though. I mean, I have to say, photography wise,
It is.
it's
I'm sorry. Pardon
it's
me.
easier to handle as well. It's a smaller camera and it's just easier to take out with you and just to get if you see something in the distance, you can get that camera going immediately. The P1000 is a bit heavier and clumsier. Might be easier for the P. It
That's what
just
the
just depends
reports are
what you want to
saying.
do with it.
Yeah, I want to make a one-time investment, and the P1000 has like almost 50% more optical zoom. So I might as well just buy that, is what I'm thinking.
I agree.
Yeah, but at the distances involved, say you're looking at something 20 miles away, the P900 does a fantastic job at that distance anyway, and the P1000 doesn't give you anything different than that. And on any given day, you're limited to about 20 miles of visibility. I mean, just the weather conditions and stuff. Unless you're actually going to climb a mountain and you're looking at distant mountain ranges. I don't, from using both, that's just my experience with using both.
Okay.
But it's up to
Yeah,
you.
I live in Washington State, and our weather's a lot like your guys's.
Yeah, and like I say, I mean, if you actually record it on 1080p on the P900, it gives you a very good quality. It's not, obviously filming in 4K is better, you have to say, but if you just mentioned the zoom, it doesn't make a great deal of difference when you're looking at an object 20 miles away because the P900 will do just as good a job.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to do
Thank
a
you
quick
very
shout out to Five Angels. He says, "Hey guys, I was at an airport yesterday and I saw a kid running backwards on a travelator. He gave up soon after. I had a bit of a laugh and thought, damn, Earth spin Coriolis." Thank you very much for the super chat, Five Angels.
Oh, are you live now?
Yeah, I started early because my computer's failing. So, yeah.
I thought this was the pre-show. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum.
I feel like a proper fanboy with Ranty here.
Oh, yes, that's how we got onto the subject. So this chap who's called, let me get it right, Said and Done? He was the chap that explained that he'd come to the channel off your back, Ranty. So, Said and Done, Ranty Flat Earth.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ranty. I feel like I already know you, though, which is why I feel like a fanboy.
Fanboy. Well, it's always nice to meet new fans. It's funny as well. My subscribers keep growing, and I've barely put any content out in the past month, and I still keep getting more subscribers each day.
I've been waiting for the notifications, and they've not come through. But yeah, I did see your video about explaining why you were taking some time out. So when you start the show, or you say you're going to do it sporadically, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you still going to be doing the presentation format?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it'll still be the same formats. It's just, I just needed a bit of a break, as with anything, there was too much going on at the same time, and I'd been doing it for 2.5 months. It's a lot, it's a lot of time to put in living on 3 hours sleep. I just couldn't do it. So I just needed a complete break. And I have enjoyed it, actually, the break away from Flat Earth. Not that I've not been thinking about it, but just to be able to just sort of like take a step back. And because, I've been doing this for 3.5 years, 3.5 years of eating, sleeping, drinking Flat Earth, talking to Nathan every day. It's just nice to get a break. That's all I would say.
To both of you, basically. Both. It's, what I've noticed though is, especially on Nathan, your show, right? There's not there's no real hypotheses from the flat Earth side, right? You're normally dealing with claims from globers. But I never infer any like hypothesis of your own.
For what?
For your beliefs in flat Earth.
That's not a cause and effect relationship, though.
I think we're just asking questions, you know. I mean, we're told from infancy that, you know, this is where we live, and we're just asking for the proof of that. You know, it's not a big, you know, it's not a hard thing to think about. That, you know, we're told we live on a spinning globe. We're just asking for the proof. Where is it? Okay, then if you tell us this is where we live, okay, you know, can we question that? Can you show us this? Can you prove that to us? You know, and if you can't, and I can go out and I can see a lot further distance and stuff like that, then it makes more sense to think, well, maybe if you can't produce evidence of the globe, maybe it isn't a globe, and if you can see a lot further, then maybe it isn't round at all. You know, it's kind of just one of them.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we're not making a claim. We just want
what
the
globe?
proof that we live on a globe.
What globe? There's a globe?
It's
Where
more.
is it?
It's definitely more focused on
Good morning, guys.
debunking globe science as opposed to putting forward any claims for. That's what I've noticed more recently. Is that fair to say?
You were breaking up. I didn't get to hear all what you said then.
So the show seems more focused on debunking globe science than it does putting forward proof of flat Earth. Is that fair?
Check it out
Where-
on screen right
what
now for the
science?
audience. Hold on, just I'll just say it. People often ignore the images that go by on the background to this show, but it's just chock-a-block with flat Earth proof. I like it when people say, "Well, what's your proof?" Well, it's rolling by on a daily basis.
In the Discord or in your YouTube?
On the YouTube link. I'll post it in Discord again.
You know, it's not essentially that we're trying to debunk the globe. We're just asking for the globe proof. There's a big difference between us trying to debunk something, which we probably do anyway, than just asking, well, okay, you've made the claim that we live on a globe and, you know, this is where we're spinning. You know, go ahead and prove that to us. You know, it's all we're asking. Not a big deal. Just show us something. Show us some proof.
Well, I just listened to an astrophysicist get asked one of those questions: "What's the best proof that we live on a globe?" And her response was sunrise and sunsets. I mean, this was a well-renowned astrophysicist lady. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, that Wakey Wakey interview, I just watched it this morning.
Oh, was
And
that good? I started watching.
Bro, this lady destroyed herself. It was great. I mean, think that this is one of those. She's supposed to be an expert in exoplanets, right? But can't answer simple questions about the planet we're supposed to live on, right? Same nonsensical answers as all the rest of these globers with gravitational forces. I mean, it's laughable. And once you realize where the direction the interview was going, you know, once he started asking questions about, you know, curvature and all these people out there doing all these observations where no curvature is found, when she realized it was going down that route, she was like, oh, I can't talk to a flat earther. I can't talk to people who think the earth is flat. Yeah, earlier in that interview, she was talking about how science and we got to analyze new data. And it was just hilarious. Too funny. What's up, Arwen?
Hey, chocolate.
I bought a book in a second-hand shop, and it was from 1879, I believe, and it literally has the same proofs as what we are told today. Now, you said that this, scientist or astrophysicist said that sunsets and sunrise. Well, essentially, that's what they were saying in 1879. Along with boats go over the curvature. They were the two main things, and they're still the two main things that they actually say today. So they've had 140 years of this, and we're just asking for the proof. Well, there's no proof. They say that you have to observe these phenomena and believe that you're spinning and the Earth is curved, and they're the only two explanations. But research has suggested, last 5 years or so, research has proved that actually that isn't the case.
Yeah, it seems that whenever there's some kind of anomaly as well, there's always a scapegoat. There's always another explanation for why this other phenomenon is happening. For example, moon phases and seeing the moon in the day and it's only half lit. Surely, if the sun is as far away as we're told it is, the whole moon should be lit up from our point of view.
No, research specular reflections to appreciate why the moon is not being lit by the sun.
Specular reflections?
Correct. It's been covered on... I can't remember which Ballbusters we covered this on. I'll have to dig it out. I'll let you know in Discord if I can find out which show it was covered on. It may get covered as a standalone show soon, so that's enough of my hinting. I'm pretty sure I'm giving you that answer because QE's told me that he's going to do a standalone show on it, so I'll probably... Yeah, I won't say anymore. Just go and Google search that term and you'll find out why. Fairly self-apparent if you Google that term.
Fine. So
Let's do a quick shout out to... Get it up. Constance Burns. We don't mind not having all the answers. Right on, Constance. That's one big plus to me, actually. Quite the contrary to the stress levels that it causes others when you take a dump on their current rhetoric and then don't offer them anything in return. I said it a couple of shows ago. You go from knowing why the sky is blue based on their positioning of the sun and the atmosphere and what it's doing, but then you turn back into a child because you go, I don't know what it is. I've got no idea. Isn't that magical? Well, I think so. Constance Burns again, thank you very much for the super chat. We mind being given lies and conjecture as fact. Yeah, not only that, we hate it when they claim it's science. But thank you very much for the super chat, Constance Burns. I really appreciate your support.
Let me help the Globers out just a little bit. But Nathan, we look at the light coming from the stars and we know what they're made of. It's called spectroscopy. Come on, you know what this is. We know what the stars are made of because we can look at the light coming from them.
Should have a game show called...
Did I come through?
Yeah, you came through. I was going to say something, but I was on mute. I was going to say that physicist that Wakey Wakey interviewed, she said, yeah, with spectroscopy, we can tell that these planets, these pixelated planets that we see, they contain rivers and all these, life forms. Well, not life forms, but Earth-like planets. We can tell it just by spectroscopy alone.
I know, that's why I brought that up. And you can see water in the spectroscopy. You can see hydrogen. Come on, you can see all this. That's what we know what they're made of because of this.
They should have hit the moon with that then, because in 2009, when they crashed into the moon, that was to search for water. So they know the atmosphere, the makeup, the temperature, the orbit of all the exoplanets. Just don't know if we have water on our own moon. That makes sense?
When you don't have to prove anything, and the body that you're talking in is on the same pseudo proof, then you can say anything you want, because then all the people who are under the spell of the globe Earth are never going to ask questions. So, hey, I looked at this light and I saw a river, a mountain, and some weird alien fish. Yeah, light. That light coming through tells me everything, and people just don't even question it.
But 10th Man, haven't you seen the Apollo films?
Yes.
Hollywood made?
Yes, Hollywood made, exactly.
Well, at least the astronomer did say this on that video. She said she doesn't like those people that do the animations, because it gives a false impression. At least she did admit that on the video. I got to say that. Remember that?
Yeah, she said it was deceptive.
It's funny how they're willing to take the higher ground by throwing one of their own under the bus. So I
One
don't
of
give
their
any.
own.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the people who make the animations are deceptive.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay, so I'll throw that one under the ground so that I look like I'm not deceptive. It's just a stupid trick. Just show me gas pressure without a container. Show me water the size of oceans curving. Just show it to me.
So shout out to Cleary, who says, if stars are suns, why is space dark? Thank you very much for the super chat, Clearly. Really appreciate your support.
I think they would say because of the space between stars. That can't render the light because there's no anything there. No photons.
I forget the name of the paradox. I forget who it was that said this, but if there's that many stars in the night sky, technically the whole sky should be lit up. Somebody said there's a paradox in that because you've got specks of light, but if you can see the stars, then still the whole sky should be lit up with stars. So that's I forget who said that, but I'll have to go find it. Somebody might on Discord might know, but there was a paradox there.
That's right. And there were even mistakes made with this concerning the moon landing when it was asked, what did you see up there? And some of the astronauts in the early story said, oh my God, it's so beautiful. The stars are so bright. It's all amazing. And then other times like, oh no, there's all black. Remember that?
Your story straight, right?
Oh, you mean it was a palpable black? I don't remember seeing any stars. Ooh.
Yeah. That two sides
But
the
yeah, other
statement
missions
are
were navigating with stars, right? So which is it? Did they see stars or did they not?
Two went down to the moon, one stayed above. When you get to the dark side of the moon, I would imagine you would see nothing but stars, no?
It's a real simple test you can do here on Earth. Get out of the city, go to the desert or country where there's no light, and you see a lot of stars. Go
That's
back to the
right.
city. Go back to the city, and you can't see those same stars because of all the excess light that's around you. So now let's do what Arwen said. Let's go to what the astronauts said with two versions. How many cities and lights are there up there in space, Arwen?
While we're waiting for Arwen, shout out to Sean Tibbets for the super chat sticker. Thank you very much for your support. You with us, Arwen? Can you not hear us?
Yeah, what?
Hey,
Did you hear my
Racer.
last?
Good to have you.
Did you hear my last comment, Arwen?
Sorry, I didn't hear it over myself chewing.
No, I was giving you kudos for bringing up the astronauts' two versions of the stars, and I said,
oh, right.
So I said, if you live in the city, go out to the country or the desert where you don't have light pollution and look up and you see a lot of stars here on Earth. Then go back to the city and see if you can see the same stars, and you can't because of the light pollution. Now, if the astronauts are up in the pseudo space, the vacuum of space, how many cities and light pollution situations are there up there for that to happen for them? None.
Yep. The only thing that I'm now thinking about, though, is that the supposed moon landing footage and all that, it was in the daylight side. Remember? So there was
Yeah, the
supposedly
side face.
sunlight shining on that, and that would then theoretically, if by that road, dim light down the stars by that logic. And I think they went officially for an explanation like that as well.
But we're not using just the moon landing. We're using
Right, right.
we're
Up
using the
there.
current. No, that's not what I'm saying. We're using the current crop of astronauts and OTS who are saying in the ISS and here just above the Earth, they're the ones also saying the doublespeak.
Really? In the ISS?
Yeah, that
I
you have
didn't know that.
Yeah, you have that one video clip of the two astronauts. One is Massimino. Can't remember the other guy's name, and they're talking, and they're saying, "Yeah. What's his name? Dom Pettit and Massimino. Good old Dom Pettit. Well, that guy's a gaff every minute. The stars, everything bright, and then you go to the other
And you
astronaut.
see stars. You can see the Milky Way. I mean, that's how they
Planets.
sounded. That's how they sounded. Like, I was like, is this serious? Is this a real NASA interview? Sure enough, yep.
Hey,
These
Chocolate.
two.
Chocolate, remember the South Park version that Owen Benjamin made of that?
Yeah.
With the two retards?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was great. Just a joke.
When you watch that, you hear Dom Pettit go, yeah.
Yeah, they sound like Beavis and Butthead.
You see stars. Yeah.
Okay, as the Beavis and Butthead impressions start, I'll do a few shout outs. So shout out to David Rakia Gafford. He says, all dumb people go and stay on mute. I'm on mute. Rakia life. God is good. Thank you very much for the super chat, Dave Rakia Gafford. And also Cleary, who says, if the ball Earth is spinning to the east, why does the jet stream outpace it by 150 miles per hour? Indeed. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, Dave Rakia Gafford and Cleary. And with that, I'll say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in live, smashed the super chat, commented, shared and subscribed and all that good stuff. As I say, stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Using what I said as a weapon against you.
Copyright strike.
The bravada.
At least give Arwen credit for that argument, Rumpus.
Well, he can't hear us now.
Yeah, I was referencing Massimino and Pettit, but that was a good trick, Arwen. You got him to bite.
Sorry?
Hey, 10th man.
Yeah.
Regarding what you're saying about Catholicism and stuff, and the saints. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Do you know who Saint Anthony is?
Sleeping Warrior?
Saint Anthony of Sleeping Warrior?
That's the guy that finds your lost
Oh, that was excellent.
What a setup.
Saint Anthony is who they pray to when they've lost something like a possession and they need to find it.
Yeah,
so my mother-in-law will say, "Pray to Saint Anthony."
Yeah, bunch of garbage.
Are they looking for
Hey
their
Nathan, can you hear me?
Say again,
Can
sorry.
anybody hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I can hear you
Nathan,
from
can you hear
Discord
me?
over.
Yeah, we all hear you.
Check 1, 2. Can anyone hear me?
Clearly,
think
you
he
can't. I can
can't
hear you
hear
from
us.
Discord. He can't hear us. Someone tell him in the chat feed.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, you can't hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. This is my first time ever calling in. I love the show. I've been listening since like episode 300, and I just wanted to add something that you guys were talking about on episode 1008.
Go ahead.
That just came to mind that I thought was interesting. You guys were talking about planes suspended in midair, and that we never see that. That doesn't happen. And I was just wondering, that triggered something in my memory that of a YouTube video, actually a bunch of YouTube videos that I watched a couple of years ago. If you go on YouTube and do a YouTube search, you got to scroll through to kind of find them. But there are videos, you type in airplanes suspended in midair, and I don't know what's going on there, but there are quite a few number of videos of people captured planes that appear to be suspended in midair.
You
And I
mean
just thought that was
Boeings?
interesting when you
You
guys
mean
were
big
talking about
Boeings?
that.
Yeah, that's the
Sorry,
Coriolis
what?
You a
effect.
Glober?
No,
I think.
no.
Hold on.
This
I
isn't
was
me.
gonna have to
I'm not defending saying that planes go backwards or that they like. It's just I've seen videos of them. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what it is. But when you guys were talking about that, I was like, I just wanted to say, if you do a YouTube search and type in airplane suspended in midair, there is a phenomena where several people have captured footage of what appears to be, passenger airline, and it looks like it's just suspended in midair. I don't know what's going on there, what's
Right.
happening.
Thank
or,
you. Thank you.
I know
or saying
exactly
that it's
what
true,
you-
but
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
But
Please don't repeat it a fourth time. So, Jibby
Okay,
had
sorry.
an answer for you. Go ahead, Jibby. I was going to say the same answer, but you got there first.
Yeah, that's the Coriolis effect. So the plane isn't really going anywhere because the Earth is spinning below it.
That's right.
There you
You
go.
got the
God.
continents coming towards that
Terrible.
plane.
You people are terrible. Jesus. No,
no,
I think I know what
I
he's
definitely
talking
don't think
about.
the Earth
It's
is spinning, but I was just wondering if you'd ever seen those videos and what you thought about it.
I have
Yeah.
seen those videos that you're talking about. Actually, I've seen them on Impossible Channel,
Uh-huh.
and I mean that channel is renowned for having fake footage.
right.
Yeah, it
Have
could
you
totally
ever
be fake.
seen a Boeing 737 land?
Hold on.
Oh,
Before we get into
a
different.
45
Hold
degree
on.
angle.
Oh, God. So, right. You're saying there's what seems to be plane that's hanging in midair. Now, that's fine, but do you appreciate why that can't be the case? If not, I'll explain.
No, I'm not saying that it is or that it is a real video. I just watched it was recommended videos. I was looking up something else, it popped up, and I saw like 3 or 4 or 5
Sir,
videos.
no offence,
of
sir.
what?
Sir, I don't need a detailed history of how you came to the video. I just need to know if you understand how it doesn't work that way or not. Do you appreciate why that isn't the case? I just need a yes or no answer.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they are really hovering and it's fake footage or they are. I just think it's an interesting thing if that is something that someone captured. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be possible. I don't see how it's possible.
Okay, it isn't possible because if it was suspended in midair, and it would imply that you do have continents capable of coming towards planes, Earth spinning underneath planes, and reduced flight times, etc., etc., etc. i.e., if this optical illusion at best is claimed to be a demonstration of Coriolis effect with the retention of angular momentum, then you've suddenly got a problem because you've got to account for that all over the claim to be globe, but they don't. We never actually experience any effects like that, ever, regardless of an optical illusion on a YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm not defending it or presenting
Armin's been
it as
trying to get a
evidence
point
of
in for the
anything.
last 5 minutes.
Go on, 10th man.
No, Arwen has been trying to get a point in for 5 minutes and it keeps getting cut off, so I want to hear it.
I thought he wanted to move on to Jumbo's landing.
No, he was referencing the question and about 3 or 4 people talked over him. So go ahead, Arwen.
Sorry, Arwen, I didn't appreciate that. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I was just trying to say that, look, there is a mystery about the technology of certain aircraft, and it's been treated on Globebusters that they may be hiding like a vacuum-driven technology that could have like weird side effects because these planes sometimes seem to almost float. But that's not high up. That's even closer to the ground. So it might be caught that this plane was making a kind of maneuver, maybe trying to hover a bit. It could be, but it's not because of Coriolis. It's because of the technology. Because it can do that.
Yeah, that's how I came across the video. Is I was watching videos on how planes mostly run on compressed air and not on jet fuel, and so I was looking into that. And I thought that was interesting, and then I came across the suspended in midair videos.
Can I
Well, there
get
you
a
go.
word in?
Issue
Can I get
solved.
can I get a summary statement in here, Nathan?
Yeah, go for your life.
Yes. Okay. Can you all appreciate what Jibby and Nathan said? Let's say what you see is actually happening. Great. Then it's Coriolis effect. So then the continents are moving west to east. And so if you go east to west flight, like Charlotte, North Carolina to LA, it should take an hour and a half. Does that happen?
Yeah, I don't think the Earth is spinning. I just found it interesting that there was footage of planes suspended in
Excuse
midair. I
me.
don't know what that's
Excuse-
about,
excuse-
but yeah, I don't claim
excuse-
that that's Earth spin or anything like that.
Excuse me.
I'm
You're
definitely
going
on
to
your
find a
guys'
lot
side.
more
I've been
footage.
listening. I listen to you guys every day since episode 300.
Can you
Let's say,
tell us
Rod.
how you came across those videos again?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you tell us how you came across
How did
those
I come
videos?
across? Yeah, they popped up in my recommended when I was looking into the concept of planes mostly run on compressed air and not, they don't carry all the gallons and gallons of fuel that they say they do, that they run mostly on compressed air. So I was looking into that, and then the
Poncho
suspended in
P
midair
covered that in
videos popped
depthly
up in my
back
recommended.
in the day. Yeah, the compressed air, the planes stationary in midair. I've seen dozens of those videos. The compressed air argument for weight versus propulsion versus all that stuff. Poncho went over that in depthly, and we never came to a conclusion, for certain if it is compressed air. I mean, there's engineers arguing there's definitely jet fuel. Like, you can't say there's none. It was a very polarizing argument, basically.
How about no trees?
Yeah, no trees. Petrified, yeah. Devil's Tower, yeah.
Devil's
I
Tower.
can't let that slide.
No trees.
It was being facetious, right? I don't want that comment to go like QE was actually lending credence to that shite. So let's just nip that in the bud.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be like them. Nipping them in the bud. That's what they did with the giant trees. Just kidding.
Again, if I could, I think the whole point of my summary got missed. Did you see how quickly the argument got taken down? Oh, the brain cells are thinking.
It's just I don't think there was really an argument being made. Nobody was talking about that's due to the Earth spinning underneath. I think he's just saying that we were talking about it, and something he saw in a video kind of sounded like what we were talking about, but nobody's trying to reiterate that it's due to Earth spinning or anything like that. So
No, that's
and
not
he
what I was saying.
himself, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was referencing. We had a gentleman call yesterday, and he wanted to debate, and he wanted to get some tips before he went into a debate, if you all recall. And afterwards, we told him, or the people who were speaking to him told him, maybe you should not do the debate yet and get your arguments down sync and know what to say and ask questions properly, etc. So now here comes
Chocolate was
1 day later. Here comes 1 day later, and we have this YouTube video reference of airplanes hovering. And so instead of going into the minutia of how they could be hovering, if it's compressed air, if it's a helicopter inside of a balloon, who cares, whatever. Instead of going into that, say, oh, so that would mean Coriolis, right? And they would say yes. And you say, good. Well, in that case, then the continents will be moving west to east, and the flight from Charlotte, North Carolina, take 1.5 hours. But that does not happen. You kill it right there. That it's pseudo, and there's who's going to continue the conversation still? Only an idiot ball
Well,
target.
funny enough, right? That those types of videos haven't been asserted as evidence for Coriolis, but mark the date because I bet you it
Yes,
will.
I'm surprised they haven't.
I bet you it will now. Somebody be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
look, Coriolis."
What's the difference between those videos that have yet to be referenced and the Foucault pendulum?
Well, I would say that the aeroplanes seeming to hover is either just a fake video or some kind of optical illusion. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that two explanations.
Well said.
Yeah, I just wanted to say chocolate is 100% correct. I definitely was not making any claim. I was just throwing that out there. I thought that was interesting. Definitely not making a claim or proof of anything.
Here's a factor in those videos. The perspective of the viewer of the plane is always in a moving vehicle, or they are moving. It's never a stationary camera that observes those planes hovering. Like, that's an aspect of it. So if you're traveling west at a certain speed and the plane is rising and doing a slight tilt, it may appear to be stationary to you as you're moving. And that does happen in certain
That's what I thought when I watched it, because there was a car traveling in the opposite direction as it was doing it, and I thought it could be like an optical effect. I know I'm digressing, but there is also footage or video of birds hovering that seem to just be stuck in midair. I don't know if that's camera tricks too or whatever, but I just thought it was a weird phenomena, a glitch in the matrix, so to speak, or what it was. Just thought it was interesting, not making a claim, Coriolis or anything like that.
Birds also ride hot air sometimes.
Thank you, Arwen. I see birds hovering every day over my property.
Yeah, they're not actually flapping their wings or anything. They're just letting the wind keep them where they are. But I've seen birds hovering, definitely.
You all seem to have missed the point still.
Where and when, Chocolate?
Say again?
Where and when exactly have you seen actual birds hovering?
Birds hovering. I've seen it. I can't give you a date or a timestamp. I didn't videotape it.
I
But
could
I've
a
seen
little
them.
during the summer.
I've seen them appear to do it. Definitely.
During the summer when there's hot air.
Yeah, they're high enough. Yeah.
I saw it on Animal Planet once, I think.
Yeah, we see it all the time. Birds can hover due to the speed of the wind.
You're 242, Highlander. You're coming along.
Yeah, birds of prey are especially good at hovering.
I see it on a daily basis on my property because they're looking for mice and other little critters to hunt.
Are those supernatural birds?
No, they're supernatural
I
critters.
was waiting for it.
They're supernatural rats.
Hey, Tenth Man, do you have air currents on your property?
I have all kinds of currents on my property.
Okay, I wonder if that currents. I got you. I saw that coming. But wouldn't those birds tend to want to ride those air currents? Maybe
they do.
I know the electrical currents they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't want to ride the electrical currents because that would be very harmful. But the air currents they would want to ride, right?
If they ride electrical currents, they'd be fly by wire. Okay, so that's only good for planes.
Wow.
Thank you, Chocolate.
And with that, I'll say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who did tune in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Again, another massive thank you to all of today's Discord and G Plus panel for making this after show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!